Get ready with me, chemotherapy session edition. Yeah, so had my second chemo yesterday. Antibodies first, steroids after, a high course of that I will add, and also my doxycycline chemotherapy, which took about an hour. Backstory: got off the back of my first chemo session. This is only my second, yeah. I got a really bad infection. I had a port put in my arm. There, I'll show it in the next video. And the port got infected. My blood got infected. I got a blood clot. It was a shambles, yeah. And through that, I had to stay in hospital. So because of that, this time round, I had the port taken out. I just had it accessed through my veins, and thank God it was fine. For anybody who has funny veins, so that means, you know, maybe you're a person that over the years, you've not been able, like when you go to the hospital, they're not able to find your veins very easily. You can request for them to do it via an ultrasound, where they can actually use the ultrasound to look for the vein, so that they're not pricking and probing you every second. I'm going to go and put on a top that's more appropriate because I don't want to be exposed. I'll be right back. I'm back. So yeah, anybody who has funny veins, request from whoever's doing it for you, your cannula, or even just injections. It's your right to request for you not to be pricked and picked at and end up with loads of, you know, constant scarrings on your hands or arms constantly, when they can use an ultrasound. Yeah, request it, guys. That's what it's there for. So chemo was yesterday. So far so good. Right now I'm attributing it to the steroids. I feel like they've given me an extra boost and some extra energy. Could be wrong. At the moment, everything seems to be going in the right direction, which is really, really positive. Last time, the way it went up, the day after I had my chemo, I just felt really, the day after, in fact, I didn't feel as bad as the other days. So we're kind of aligned with that. But I still didn't feel good. And I remember I still didn't feel as good last time on the second day as I do now, if that makes sense. We're going to hope that it stays in that energy. That's what we're manifesting, and so it shall be. I'm here getting ready because my sister's taking me out to eat, which is exciting. I didn't think I'd be able to do something like that. Although my stomach is very, very tender with the chemo. That's one of the side effects that I seem to have gotten. Just my bowel movement is, not to go into it and be crude, but it's extremely irregular. So yeah, as last time, I'm going to start with just putting some powder on my face. Yeah, I feel very, very good at the moment. But I was told that because I had my chemo, the whole session, I had to get to the hospital for 3 in the afternoon. So, as you can imagine, I got home, probably everything was finished up by about 6. I got home by about 7. The last time I had it early in the morning. So they did say it would give me some energy and I would struggle to sleep, and I can feel, you know, considering what time I went to bed, I can't believe how energetic I feel today. We'll take it. So I came back home yesterday from chemo. The first day, not really much to report. You just feel pretty much normal. For me, anyway, because everybody's different, right? No one person is the same. But for me, that's how it seems. Nothing untoward. I had something to eat. But yeah, I did start to notice that my stomach just was feeling quite tender. I pretty much couldn't sleep last night. Just up watching some junk TV. And yeah, got to bed when I got to bed, which was about 6 in the morning, I believe. Pretty late. And despite going to bed so late, I was up around 10. Hence why I'm doing a get ready with me right now. Oh gosh, because I'm raveling in, and very, very grateful right now that I'm able to sit here and talk about my experience, because the last time this is not how I felt. We're going to take it one day at a time. But at this moment in time, so far so good. Like, I'm really, really pleasantly surprised that I'm not out of it right now. Tomorrow is a brand new day and we'll see how tomorrow goes. But for today, we're loving life. We are loving life for today. So yeah, I'm just really, really happy about that. So yeah, the plan for today is just to go and get a bite to eat with my sister. It was pre-planned. She didn't remember I had my chemo because she probably wouldn't have booked it. So we're going to oh, sweet one. So I'm looking forward to that. I've never been there. Hit me up in the comments if you have been there. What's the vibe? What do I expect? What do you rate the food? It is a Wednesday, so, you know, sometimes Wednesdays can be an odd day, but we're going to enjoy regardless. One thing I've really kind of got my head around, I guess, since my my diagnosis, for those of you that don't know, I've got stage 3A breast cancer. I'm sure I've missed out something in terms of what I've got. Every experience from what people have said seems to be different with chemo. You might have some chemo cycles that are more gracious to you than others, and definitely, despite having such a terrible time of it on my first session, I'm quite hopeful that this session might be different, because, you know, let's have it right. If anyone's experienced cancer before personally or through a loved one, you've got to just take the rough with the smooth, you know. You don't want to downplay the blessings, because the smallest things are blessings, you know. Whether that be just, oh gosh, just the days that you feel good enough to get out of bed. Yeah, so having gratitude in this cancer journey is so important, guys. It's so important, because if you don't, then it just all feels like one big cycle of shittiness, you know? Like, there's just no good days, because the good days that come, you're not even bothered to acknowledge them, so they just come and go and pass you by without you even taking that minute to be like, that day I done good. That day I could get out of bed. That day I was able to go out. That day I was able to have a conversation. That day I was able to brush my teeth. You know, yeah, it can get that deep. Do you understand? It can literally get that deep for some of us, you know, depending on your diagnosis, depending on the support you have. It depends. There's so many different factors that come into play that people don't realise. Every day is different, you know. Some days I wake up and I feel on top of the world, like, I've got this. And then other days, I don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to talk to no one. I don't want to come online. I just don't want to, I don't want to do much. So I'm really, really happy that today I'm going to go and have a meal with my sister on day 2 of my chemotherapy. I'm going to take the necessary precautions that I need to take. Like, you know, making sure I've got my hand sanitizer, wearing a face mask, that sort of thing. Usually, day 2, not to say it's not a danger zone. I'm not a doctor as well, so take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. It's just what I've read up on and just instructions that I've got specifically from my oncologist. And what I've been told is that usually day 7 to day 10 is like at the peak of when your immune system is at its lowest, your white blood cells are very low. So that's the time where you really have to just be super, super careful about who you're around, making sure you're protecting yourself essentially, because your immune system is not there to fight off any potential infections you could get from some bloody idiots sneezing on you, thinking that you're just a normal person when you're not. We are normal people, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, not everyone walks around without a bloody immune system to protect them from flipping local germs, you know. We are going to Sweet One to have some nice food, hopefully. I'm really, really excited to try the food and just to not have so much of my life centralised around bloody cancer. Get so flipping gets really boring, really boring. I'm looking forward to having a well-needed change of conversation, change of scenery, and just change of environment, you know. So yeah, I have to be ready by 8 o'clock. I know I'm in the danger zone of being late. So yeah, I'm gonna get a wriggle on. I am probably gonna finish off. I'm just going for like a very soft beat today. So I think eye-wise, I'm gonna keep it really simple. I'm just gonna go in with a sort of soft colour at the top. It's a bit too soft, I think. A bit too light. Kind of even that up. I can just pat that all over. Yeah, kind of quite a light colour, but not too light. So yeah, this cancer is not for the faint-hearted. I've literally gone from one end of the spectrum to the other, just in terms of my life and what it consists of right now. Just literally hospital appointments. I don't know how I'm going to feel from day to day. And bearing in mind, like I said, I really want to get into it today, but I don't have the time. I want to, you know, what I went through over Christmas requires a longer and deserves a longer video because it was deep. So I don't have the time to get into that now. But it just, again, made me realise that actually, yeah, there's so much you can go through on this journey, and you don't even realise that actually the things you're going through, you're just thrown into it. You don't have a say. You don't get to decide, I don't want to do this today. It just, sometimes it just flipping happens, you know. And that's kind of been my story so far. A lot of the things that have happened to me have just happened. I've just had to roll with it, you know. So yeah, I will definitely keep you guys posted. I'm going to vlog through the week anyway on how the rest of my week goes with the chemo, giving an honest account. I want anyone who's going through the same thing, or who, you know, is leading up to having their cancer treatment, just to, you know, it's good sometimes to look and see other people who are going through it, and I guess to see, you know, just as a source of comfort, because it can be so scary, you know. You're just thrown into this. Like I said, you're not given a choice. You just have to get on with it. And for some people, when you don't know what to expect, it can be overwhelming. And I know for me, it definitely was overwhelming. There's a lot of helpful videos out there, but there's nothing like your own experience to kind of qualify, you know, how to deal with things. So yeah, this is why I've decided to vlog my journey, because actually this video might help someone, or not. Or not. It's not as dark as I wanted the lid, but I think I should have left it. I shouldn't have gone over it with the base colour underneath, but I am not a professional, as you can see. I just do what I do, and hopefully wish on a star that it all comes together, you know. And I am so late as well. So yeah, I tell you what though, one thing that has been very interesting, yeah, is that, and this is something, again, I've got to do a whole video on because it's so deep. And it's just, when, you know, there's so much information out there on, I would say, like, how to, different alternatives to aid your recovery and to help put you in a place of good health before you even start doing chemo. And I feel like a lot of people, they run down this kind of chemotherapy road, and sometimes as well, you know, because it takes time. Once you get diagnosed with cancer, you don't just get thrown into chemo, unless maybe you're more advanced. Everybody's story might be different, but for me, I didn't just get thrown into chemo. Like, I kind of, I guess, had some time to figure things out, because I had to have a whole array of tests to make sure that the chemo wasn't in any other area of my body. With that being said, that gave me time to do other research, and I've been on that journey anyway for quite some time, because I do have multiple sclerosis as well, to kind of establish other holistic ways of looking after yourself. You know, some of you may be familiar with Dr. Sebi. If you're not, I would definitely urge you to go and do some research around his work and his team that have continued on his work and what they do. And that's basically what I adopted, as well as obviously through that just trying to change my lifestyle. So a lot of things I done is I stopped drinking and smoking when I found out about my diagnosis, even though it's been a rocky road with that. I did change my lifestyle, but it's something that you have to do gradually. You have to do it over time. Sometimes what I found is that I put a lot of pressure on myself just to do everything like now. No, sometimes you've got to slow down, back up, and just get through things one day at a time. So I started being a bit more kinder to myself and just slowed it down. Also, another thing that has been second to none, priceless in my journey, is the power of prayer and meditation. For me, have been very paramount in my recovery, and just to take back some control and give me some control in my life beyond chemotherapy. Yeah, my cancer, I hate even calling it my cancer, it's not my cancer, the cancer in my breast, although I had a turbulent time of it, the tumour shrunk to the point where it could not be felt at all. I was told that to the degree that it shrunk, that is remarkable. Like, it's not common. That is like something that just never happens. And that was just after one session. So that's also been something that's been quite helpful, just to give me that boost that I've needed and I've been craving, just to not to feel like, oh my God, this is just all doom and gloom. And just even a bit of confidence that actually getting on the right road of eating well, changing your lifestyle, meditation, praying, oh my God, it's been phenomenal. Yeah, I need to finish up. Finished look, guys. My ride is outside, so I'm ready to rock and roll. I think I'm gonna go with a hat today. It's a little bit chilly in the UK, so I've got my little beanie, my little matching fur coats, and yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. So have a great evening. I'm off to do the same, and hopefully we will catch up with another Get Ready With Me.